Okay, hi, how are you guys doing today?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Come on in. And again, what you want to do is you want to try to get them sat next to each other, okay? If you go ahead and you go to your 10 steps to a buyer presentation, right? You're going to prepare for the consultation and you're going to greet and seat them. And when they come in, you're going to make sure that so you're not turning your head going back and forth. You always want to offer them something to drink. We do have the water out there or whatever. A lot of the time we do have coffee already made, or you can make it. It's up to you. And then what you're going to do is, make sure that you're set up to go before they even get here. Then basically, you're going to sit down and you're going to explain stuff to them before you even go into the presentation itself. When it comes to here on number 5 in your 10-step buyer presentations, actually number 4 I would start with. Before we get started, I want to thank you for coming in. We have found that our buyers are always more successful when we ask them a few questions and really, really listen to their answers. I recommend that you use several of these things in here to start with. Also, buyers, on the other hand, some people like to use that when it comes to taking listings, realtors are willing to go to the seller's home, take a complete tour, sit at the table, ask tons of questions, right? Spend hours before even going into the business with the seller. Buyers, on the other hand, can be cheated and mistreated, and most realtors will throw you in a car and just drive you around. That can tend to waste a lot of your time, and remember, it's always about them, it's never about you. Leave you frustrated and potentially lose a home that may have been perfect for you, all because they weren't willing to take a few minutes to ask you the right questions and listen. And I always emphasize on listen to your answers. Have you ever heard a buyer say, the realtors didn't even show me what I asked for? It happens all the time. Some of the times it happens because they never got the chance they never asked them any questions. And the other reason is sometimes it really is because what they're asking for in their price range and where they want to buy is not going to be maybe realistic or even out there. So sitting down today, I'm really going to set you up for success here, and make sure that we really work together at getting you what you want with one of the biggest investments of your life. How does that sound to you? That's not, anyways, the things that we're talking about as far as not listening and showing you the wrong things, that's not going to happen with me. That definitely is not. One of my jobs is to really educate you about the market and what you can get for your money. I want to make sure you are in the best hands when it comes to your financing needs. I can potentially save you thousands and thousands of dollars depending on the situation, okay? In this market, you might want to be careful at saying that part. When it's a buyer's market, I actually guarantee that we save them $5,000 on every home. That is one of my guarantees in the presentation itself. But because of the buyer's market, it's not, because it's a seller's market, we got to change things up a little bit. So I just go into the education part, and then I go up until the education. So my job really is to also not just listen to you and not ask you some questions, but also to educate you about what's going in the market today. The market is forever changing, okay? And we make sure that we stay current on everything that is going on in this market. And you might even ask them questions, like how long have you been looking? Or so if they've been looking for 6 or 8 months, they've seen it. They've seen this market go back and forth. And then
when you're doing the presentation, do you care if I read?
Yeah. You don't really want to read. You want to pretty much know this. You want to use what you want of this.
Right.
This part here is up to you.
Yeah,
the part I'm going to go over in just a
That's
second.
when I'm like, that doesn't look very good.
No. I don't want you to read this, but I want you to take this part. You can take what you want.
Okay.
What I'm now going to go into, I want you to make sure you explain everything that I'm going to explain to you. And then again, in the PowerPoint, then you can kind of pick and choose I want you to use the PowerPoint, but you can, deciding on the personality, pick and choose what part you feel that's important. So once I get to the education part, then I say, let me tell you about the difference between short sales today and foreclosures and traditional sales. A couple years ago, because people always think, oh, let me buy a short sale or a foreclosure because I can get such a great discount. Well, let me tell you, from about a year, a little bit over a year ago, our inventory is 2/3 less than it was, and that's the reason why it's a seller's market right now, because there's quite a few buyers, and there's not a lot of inventory out there, which you probably have seen yourself. Plus the prices are creeping up, and the way that the market goes in general is, and if you look at the last 100 years of real estate, is it goes up for 5 to 7 years, and it goes down for 5 to 7 years. It goes up 5 to 7 years, and that is the way the real estate market is. Now, when we crashed at the end of 2005, basically, and we went down quite hard, as you know, we crashed hard because we went up so fast. And through the 5 to 7 years going up, you're going to see, maybe it's going to go up 2 or 3% in 1 month. Maybe it's going to go up 5% in a month. But over a year in South Florida here, we go up anywhere on average between 4 and 7% per year. Okay. So like last year, we went up to like 10% here. So you're going to start to see it readjust itself. Okay. Because that's fast, and that's a lot. So in that 5 to 7 years that we're going to go up, you're going to see you're going to see more inventory on the market, then you're going to see less inventory. And a lot of that's controlled by interest rates. Okay? So when we go through this, and you see that all going on, we make sure that we're educated on all of this. And one thing is great is Kristin, the team leader of this of us, is she's a real estate coach as well, and she is always involved with education and making sure everybody, not that she just sends us on educational things to do and take, but she also is educating us all the time, so we make sure we are on the very top of what is going on. Sound good to you? So let's talk a little bit about short sales and foreclosures and traditional sales. And like I said, what I was talking about is people think, okay, if I buy a foreclosure or short sale, I'm going to get 20% off the market value because of the lack of inventory. That hasn't been true for about a year. Okay, so let's talk about short sales first. 25% of all short sales close on average. Reason being is because of the listing agent. There are a lot of things that you need to do on the listing side. These are not normal sales. They're very challenging sales, and you really need experience doing them. On the listing side of short sales, when you're going to take a listing, you need to make sure that the seller is going to be very cooperative, that they actually want to sell the home, that they actually want to do a short sale on the home, because if they don't, it's never going to close. So that person taking the listing isn't just going and taking it to have a listing, okay? The other thing that they're going to do is they're going to need to have some type of system set up and experience set up, because on our team, we do close at 98%, but that's just because they have the systems and we have the systems, and, we've been doing them for a long time. So, but let me tell you in general that the listing agent, you can tell by questions that I ask the listing agent on how many short sales they've actually done, on questions I ask when they say, oh, I have no idea, or let's say they just turn it over, they actually took the listing and they just turn it over to a title company. That a lot of the time is scary too, or they turned it over for an attorney, because when they do that, they have no usually skin in the game to get it closed. They don't really care. The attorneys and the title companies, if they're in control, they don't really care when it closes, or if it ever really does. They obviously want it to close, but 90 days or whatever, those usually will go 6 months out, 7 months out. So there's a lot of red flags that you have to worry about in short sales. The thing that's great about us is that we can help you if that is the direction that you want to go. We can definitely be interviewing the other agent and saying, you know what, Sandy, if you want me to show you this, I'd love to, but from just talking to the other agent, they've done like one short sale in their life, and that you can even tell by the way that they price it and things that they don't know what they're doing. So we can guide you along that path and really give you a lot of, feedback on if that agent is something that you really want to, or if that home is something that you really want to work on. Now, if you want to, that's up to you, but I'm just going to let you know that usually we can feel it out if it's going to close or not, okay? Now, let me tell you a little bit more about short sales. People think, usually on average, it does take about 90 days, but the listing agent can price it whatever they want. So if they do not have experience, or let's say they just want to get an offer in real quick, they're going to price it low. And multiple offers will come in on short sales as well. So when they price it low, unless the property is not in good condition, most short sales, 95+% of short sales do sell for market value, okay? They didn't before, that is true, but today they do. And the banks are very aware of the market in Florida, so they know that they can get market value for the properties, and they will not go below. So sometimes we can try to come in a little bit lower if it's short sales the way that you want to go, but you got to be willing to come up to that price, because if you aren't, there's no reason that you want to sit in that for 90 days. Okay, because once you go under contract and the seller and the buyer both sign the contract, you are in that contract for 90 days. You're also putting escrow deposit down, so you're not going to just walk away from it. I mean, it's a commitment that you're going to need to make for that 90 days. So I'm going to say, well, this is market value, and the market value might be a little different in 90 days too. Okay, so you have to realize that as well, depending on what closed, because the bank is going to send somebody out to do an appraisal to get that market value. When they send somebody out to get that appraisal, they're going to tell us what price they want. Okay, sometimes you can do a little bit of negotiation, but let me tell you, you really need to be willing to pay that, because you just kind of wasted 90 days. Now, can we try to negotiate a little bit? Sure, we can try, but I'm just telling you now that there's really no reason, unless you're willing to come up to that, to even get involved in the short sale. So we got to make sure that the realtors are good at short sales. We got to make sure that the price is correct, which a lot of realtors have no idea, and they way overprice it. Okay, so again, we have to get the motivation of it. Is there one or two lenders on it? And the other thing is if they want to close, let's say it comes back, you're required to stay in it for 90 days, the contract, and that's a me, Kristin Stampini thing, because I don't want you guys showing these people these short sales and then having them, turn around after 60 days and want me to show them all sorts of other properties or whatever. So that's the reason why we do that. We keep them in there. So you stay in a short sale for 90 days, let's say, and sometimes you'll be doing inspections up front. Sometimes you'll be doing, inspections after, after the night, once the bank has approval. But let's say they come back in 30 days and you don't want to close for 90 days. It doesn't matter. The bank is going to dictate this entire process, and you have to know that now. So if you want to work short sales, that's great. But if this isn't for you because that doesn't sound good, then short sales are probably not the direction you're going to want to go. And the bank is going to say, if they come back in 4 days and they give you 30 days to close, how often does that happen? It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. Okay, so they're really going to dictate everything in this process. The one thing that's good, and some people do require inspections up front and everything, and one thing that's good is if there's anything wrong with the property to know than to sit there and wait for 90 days. Sometimes it's good to make that investment to get an inspection, because then if there is anything wrong, we can always submit that to the bank with the offer to try to get it a little bit lower than, depending on what it is, like if it needs a new roof or something like that. Once we're under contract, to have to go back and try to get that is next to impossible, okay, because the bank has already accepted your price, and now you found out that there's some things that need to be taken care of that you're okay with, but you want to take it away from the price, and they don't look at it that way. In a short sale, the bank is looking at the bottom line, period. They don't care about cash. They don't care about that. They care about the bottom line price, or net of what they're going to get. Okay, so that's the short sales for you. Many people say, nope, I don't even want to ever deal with short. Oh, also, big thing, homeowners associations. A lot of the time, the agents that are not experienced have no clue how far the homeowners association is behind, or if they're behind. And so what happens after 90 days, all of a sudden $10,000 is owed to the homeowners association. Guess what? It's going to be on you. And if you don't pay it, it's not going to close. So that's another big thing. So if you're looking at homeowners associations, we need to try to figure out from as much as I can, figure out from the listing agent if they know anything about it. Now, I'm just telling you two, on our team, we do everything we can to try to have the sellers get that information from the HOA, but usually the HOA wants an estoppel, and nobody's going to pay for it. So we try to guess, and we usually guess kind of high. And if it's like $5,000, we do $10,000 because of the attorney fees, late fees, and everything else on top of it. And then we charge the buyer right on the MLS. Okay, so you're not going to see that with us. And if the experienced agents, you're going to see that. With non-experienced agents, because usually if you're not paying your mortgage, you're not paying your HOA, you're not paying anything, you're not paying insurance, you're not paying your taxes. Now, if you call up an agent, this is again just for you, if you call up an agent and they say, oh, they're up to date on their homeowners association, because we ask that, and there are a lot of people that are, just between you two. So then you probably know that these guys have some experience in short sales. The other thing you can always do, just so you know, you can look them up on the MLS to see how many short sales they've done. So put in sold, put in their name, and put in short sales, and it'll show you how many short sales on the MLS that they've done in the last year. If they've done one or two, you better run. Okay? So, you can do a lot to make it so it's going to work. Okay? As far as the short sale is concerned. So that's your short sales. In your REO properties or your foreclosed properties, because some people don't know the terminology, cash is king. Okay? I don't care if it's, first of all, just so you know, if it's a short sale, an REO, or a traditional sale, in this market, if it's priced well, as soon as it goes on the market, we're going to get multiple offers. Okay? Things are selling at 97% of list price. So Anita, let me ask you, if something goes for $300,000, what can you expect to pay for it?
$294.
Exactly. Now, if it has multiple offers on it, it's going for above market value, and sometimes, depending on the property, way above market value. So it just really depends. So you got to be expecting that if you're going to be in a bidding war. Okay. We can help you through bidding wars and things, and there's some things that we can do and structure and try to do on your contract to make you a better contract. But when there's a bidding war, I'm just going to tell you, it's going to go cash, conventional, FHA, VA every time. So that's just the way it's going to go. So if people are putting in certain, and they're very close to the price, that's the way they're going to go. Especially if you're working with somebody with an FHA or VA, you really don't want to get in bidding wars. Okay. So with the REOs, cash is king. They definitely look at cash. Now, will they not sell to anybody else? Absolutely not. But if it's within a few $1,000s, usually, and there's a cash deal on the table, they're going to go with that cash deal as opposed to another deal, because they don't want to have to worry about waiting for loans and people being turned down and different things like that. And yeah, exactly. So that's the way REOs are going to go. Some REOs, if people haven't lived in them for 2 or 3 years and the electric and the water's been off and things like that, you could be running into some issues. Some REOs actually are in really good condition. So those really go both ways. And actually, pretty much short sales are the same way as far as condition. Some of them are in really good and some of them are not. A lot of the REOs, especially if they've been vacant for a little while, they're going to have mold in them. Okay? They're going to have things that you're going to have to be able to want and don't care about fixing. When you go into, so that's basically your REOs. When you go into traditional sales, pretty traditional. Again, depending on the seller, is this, and actually let me back up a minute about the short sales, just for you guys, it is, because a lot of people think it's up to the bank. No, the seller is the one who makes the decision on what goes to the bank. Okay, because a lot of people think that it's up to the bank to which contract they're going to accept. The seller, only one contract gets submitted to the bank, and it's up to the seller on which contract gets submitted to the bank.
Right.
Well, some people actually want to pick a VA loan because they feel that VAs I mean, they do. I mean, some people feel that, and some people will want to pick not an investor. Some people will want to pick an actual family because they've lived in their neighborhood a long time. They want somebody. It's a lot more emotional.
It's emotional.
And also if they've met the people because they're there, sometimes they're going to pick those people. You know, if they think that if they liked them, if they had that connection with them. So if you meet sellers, make sure you get a connection with them and that the people that you're with gets a connection with the sellers. Because I'm telling you, just because we have so many listings, we see our sellers do it all the time.
Right. Yeah.
So I would let your people know too, hey, if you do see a seller, like if, you know, hopefully they'll walk out, you know, when we're showing the home, but if you do see them, you know, make sure that, you know, you smile and because a lot of the time it is a little bit emotional, okay? So in a traditional sale, I mean, again, usually the bottom line is how much money they're going to get out of it. In a short sale, it's not for the seller who decides on who they submit. No, sometimes they do. They pick out of who they like. And in a traditional sale, obviously they do that if there's multiple offers and they're all the same. However, in a traditional sale, they're looking at pretty much net as well. What are they going to get? Who's going to give me the most money? But in all of these, the way that you structure the contract is very important, okay? Which is what we do to totally help you to try to get you above what everybody else does. And the thing is because we do have a lot of listings on our team here, we see anywhere from 10 to maybe 30 on average contracts come through a week on our office. And so we see how all the other agents structure them. And sometimes we just can't believe it because we're like, wow, you know, if it were me, I'm going to be really working for my buyers so much differently than this. And we see it all the time. Okay. So those are the three, you know, different kinds of sales, and you just have to be aware of all of them. Again, short sales are a little bit, you know, time consuming, plus you have to worry about if they're in an HOA or anything else. Okay. So do you have any questions at all about those three things that we've gone over? Yeah?
I don't.
Okay, super. Next, I'm going to ask you some questions. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
3 things that you must have when purchasing a home. Okay? And you two both get 3. You don't even want to look at this home unless these 3 things are in or have something to do with the home. Okay? And you each get 3. So, Anita, and then you tell me your 3, and Steve, you tell me, and just listen to them. Okay? And it can be from schools. It can be price has to be between $125 and $150 or whatever it is. It can be has to be 3 bedrooms, have to be 4 bedrooms. I mean, these are must-haves that you absolutely are not going to buy this property unless you have these 3 things. Okay?
And would you mind me writing that down?
You right now?
No, like you ask that usually, right?
Yeah. Would you exactly? I'm gonna write that down. Is that okay? Or would you mind me writing that down? And they love that. Okay, because I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna say, okay, these are the things that you must have to purchase a home. Correct? And they're gonna say from a garage. Maybe they're gonna say updated kitchen. And if they didn't tell, and I would even sometimes even go through it with them. It is from price to community to city to how big the yard is to having a garage or a 2-car or 1-car garage, that you absolutely are not going to buy this property unless it has these things. To a pool, to an updated kitchen, to a 1-story home, to, you know, I mean, updated bathrooms, to whatever it is. These are absolutely, so it's going to be 6 things in this home that has to happen for me to purchase it. Now I'm going to ask you both for a couple bonuses. Give me 2 bonuses that you would really, really like to have if any way possible, but it's not going to not let you buy the home. Okay? So Anita and Steve, let me just go over this with you real quick. These are the things that you must have, and these are your bonuses that you'd really, really like to have, right? Perfect. Now, even national statistics show that if I have not listened to you very well, this isn't going to happen, but I should be able to find you a home after showing you a maximum of 10 properties because I have listened and done this with you today. Now, if after I've shown you 10 properties and we have not been able to put in an offer on any property, then I have not obviously understood what you've wanted. So we'll just come back in here and we'll just, fix that up a little bit because I'm not listening to you enough. I'm not understanding what you want. So anyways, I want to make sure that I do that correctly. So, you actually do see the 10 homes that you want, and that we can, that's national statistics. I mean, it's national statistics. So, okay, sound good to you?
Sounds good.
Perfect.
What if we want to see 20 homes?
Well, we can do that. But let me just tell you, if I've listened to you well enough, okay, and also we can go through today so you can see everything. But if I've done really my job to find all the things that you want in the home, you should be able to say, wow, you have found what you want within 10 homes. Now, if I go back and it's because of price or criteria, and you might have to either change your location or your price or what you want in the home, because I can't even find that much. But in the market, especially today with the tight market, you should have no problem because I've done all of that really hard work for you up front. And like I said, we can look at anything other on here too, and I don't mind showing you more, but I don't think you're really going to have to see more because if you like it, you're going to need to put an offer in on it because it's going to be gone. Okay, most likely it's going to be gone, so that's usually not a problem. Sound good to you?
Yeah. A+, A++.
Yep. So let me tell you, for this transaction to be the absolute best transaction for you, the whole process for you, what would have to happen to make it an A? And they're going to say all sorts. Sometimes they don't necessarily understand exactly what you're saying. So that's when you say, is it the flow of the process? Is it the price? Is it, they'll think of stuff. Trust me. Once you give them a couple ideas, loyalty, communication, process, whatever. Okay, perfect. And what is that going to look like to be an A+? How about an A+ in their life? They're like, wow, they really want to know what we want. Maybe it's communicating by text or communicating by phone, or maybe it's getting back to me within an hour. The process. And some of them look at that as an agent, but they'll look at it as both, process agent, okay? Perfect. Now, how about me and our team? What is going to make it an A for me to do the best job for you? What is it going to take for you to count this as an A? Perfect. And a lot of the time it's loyalty, communication, getting back to me, being available. I mean, that's what a lot of it is. How about an A+? A++? Okay, perfect. Awesome. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go through a little bit of a presentation for you. That's just going to give you some more information, okay? Perfect. And then I'll go through the presentation. And did you know that only buyers agents can do these things? Okay, and I'll say, and I'm going to go through this because I'm going to just give you some more information, some more value to what our team does, is usually how I'll start it. This first slide here, sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. But a lot of the time, they don't even realize what buyer's agents do for them, okay? Services and duties that we actually provide, because a lot of people don't even know what we can provide to them. They say, everybody out there is the same. What can they do for me? We protect buyers' interests at all times because with us, and that's all we work with as buyers, that's all we do all day long is work with buyers. So we know what's out there. We know exactly how to structure things and how to work things. And we protect your interest at all times because we have a fiduciary responsibility when we're working with just a one-on-one, when it's just the two of us. We have fiduciary responsibilities. We advise and or disclose to buyers all matters. And when you're dealing with a lot of agents, that not necessarily is true. We prepare property values and CMAs, which a lot of agents do that. We represent the buyer only. That's what we do, okay? We structure offers to promote and protect only the buyer, and we keep buyers' financial capabilities thoughts and willingness to pay more for the property strictly between us. We never let anybody know that unless we have to, unless you tell us. We negotiate home inspections and repairs, occupancy dates, buyer credits, costs, in buyer's favor. So everything we're doing is we're negotiating for you. Okay? We owe the fiduciary responsibilities to the buyer only. So we're not sitting there working with both the buyer and the seller. That is huge benefit for you. Benefits of the buyer's agencies, and as your VIP buyer agent, our team, which is great because you have so many different people on your team. You have a person that negotiates, the short sale, so we can pretty much tell you on the short sale side how everything happens. We've also done a lot of REOs. So we know the short sale and REO market very, very well. Then we have an assistant who's also here all, Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day, that can help or answer questions if I'm out with another buyer or anything else. We have a person that we can go to as a team leader whenever we need something too. So we have all of these people for you. We secure the best financing. Our vendors that we work with, we just have relationships with them because they're good and they're real good. One of the things that you have to worry about, especially in today's market, is the financing part of it, because some people, sometimes the banks and stuff, they have such a tight criteria of what you can fit in. But a lot of the time they're just going to pre-qualify people, and then when you actually get into going through the process at the end, and we see it all the time, they don't qualify. With our people, if they say you qualify, you're going to qualify. Okay? We don't care who you ever use. However, what we do ask is if you can, just get qualified with them too, because it's for peace of mind for yourself as well. Okay? Unless they, and a lot of the time they don't care. I mean, they want to make sure. And it's free and there's never any obligations to use them, but we also know that when there's situations that come up, which there always are situations that come up when somebody's purchasing a home, if we don't have a relationship with the other side, we try to do what we can, but they don't care about getting back to us or talking to us as far as the lender. When we have a relationship with them, they will get back to us and they will do everything they can to make this transaction work. And obviously the reason being is because they want more of our business. So it's a huge thing as far as seamlessly going through the transaction. Again, though, we're not telling you that you have to use them, but we do recommend that you just get a pre-qualification through them. We find the best home for your needs, and we negotiate the lowest price and the best terms for you. We meet your home buying needs with the least amount of hassles. Okay? And we're going to actually take another team picture, so I would just leave that out. Okay? The ABCs of real estate service, what most agents do, they advertise a home to get you to call them. They beg for you to come talk to them. They choose a bunch of homes they like. They drive you from house to house. They encourage you to make an offer. And you feel frustrated because the homes that they selected for you, you don't even like them. That's what most agents do in general. Our exclusive VIP home buying system focuses on your needs. Okay? As you can see, we go through an entire process. We help you find out how much home you can buy by giving you an access to a free home loan pre-approval and the best home loans available. We have multiple people that we have relationships with. Okay, we have a bank. We do have a bank as well as mortgage people. We email you all the properties that match your exact home buying criteria with our exclusive home hunter service. We help you get the home you want using our specialized market knowledge and leading edge technology. Okay, we ourselves have multiple websites. We make sure that we're always doing everything to stay on the top of the market. You receive valuable VIP buyer consumer benefits, including our exclusive buyback guarantee. You probably are like, wow, what does that mean? Each step of the way, you will benefit from our innovative home buying programs, leading edge technology, unique team sales system, specialized market knowledge, valuable consumer benefits. How it all works, you tell us exactly what you're looking for. We enter your criteria into our powerful computer, search the program, and we can look at things today as well. We send you regular emails with computer-generated lists of properties that precisely match your criteria. Also, when things are coming on the market, like new listings that we're taking, you're going to see them before they ever go on the market. And if something falls through on a property, you're going to see them before they go back on the market. Okay? You tell us what you are interested in, and we look at and investigate the properties that you choose. A lot of the times, and I'm backing up because this is another thing that I would tell them, is a lot of people say, well, when they're buying a short sale, well, they owe $600,000, the home's like worth $200,000. The bank is looking at market value. It does not matter what they owe. I don't know if you knew that or not. How most realtors pick houses is they make a random search through the MLS, they pick 6 to 8 homes, and they try to sell you one of them. The wrong person is deciding which homes to see. And it's true, because you just give them a quick criteria, and that's all they're doing is they're just putting it in real quick, and they're showing you homes because they're just hoping one will stick. They're not actually listening to what you're saying and care really about what you want and, really protecting you in the process and the needs of buying a home. How we help you pick houses is you tell us exactly what you're looking for in a home as we went over. We enter these specific details. We take those 6 things, and if it looks like there's a lot out there, we're going to add your bonuses in, okay? If there's not, then we're going to have to come back to you, and we're going to have to readjust it. We instantly are going to be emailing you the reports of all the properties available that match your needs, including the foreclosures and the for sale by owners. What we ask of you, we don't care what website you use, whose website you go on. We don't even care when you go to open houses. When people ask you, are you working with a realtor? You say, absolutely. We're working with, and I'm going to give you a bunch of cards, and you can hand them a card. When you see for sale by owners, same. Usually the for sale by owners do not mind whatsoever at paying a realtor commission. They just don't want to pay both sides of the commission. So you tell us when you drive by one, and we're going to take care of that for you as well. Because again, we're going to negotiate for you in your behalf. And I'd say 95% of the time, no problem with for sale by owners as far as paying commissions. We update you regularly after new properties meeting your criteria are listed by any and every company. So we show you everything out there, any and every company. We don't care what company it is, because sometimes buyers think that you're not only showing them certain companies. We put you in control. You get to the pick of the homes you want to see. You get to choose when you see them and drive by at your leisure. You get all the information that realtors can see, including how much the present owners paid for the property and all the data from the MLS system. Not just the limited information that the public can see. So whatever you want, I can get for you. You tell us which properties you are interested in, and we'll do additional research and arrange a showing of only the properties you want to see. How does that sound? Any questions?
Great.
We have specialized market knowledge, and our sales team agents are full-time pros, completely familiar with the intricacies of our local market. It's practices and inventory. We know zoning, land use, construction, real estate development, investment, and a broad area of the real estate matters. We regularly attend outside in-house training, which Mark and I go on about 6 to 8 trainings a year that we travel for. And then we bring it all back to you of everything we learn. And that's going to give you the most up-to-date information. We have the latest state-of-the-art technology, computers, equipment, and software, giving you the competitive advantage over other buyers. Our sales team agents will go over the difference between a short sale, like we did, and we went over the traditional sale, and we already went over all of that. With our specialized knowledge, our team will do the best job to provide you the property, which we talked about. do the best job of preparing an offer that meets your needs in the best terms. The thing that we can really help you at, like I was talking to you about before, is because we see so many offers that come in, we can help set you up on how to make sure your offer is extremely
Most
strong.
appealing, yeah.
We do the best job at presenting and negotiating your offers in your favor. Our interests come first, not your interest comes first, not the seller's. Do the best job of closing the transaction with you at the least cost and hassle to you. The unique sales team approach, most agents are one-man show with very limited resources, time, and energy, juggling several clients with little or no help and limited funds. I mean, most people are single agents, so they're doing everything. How can such agents give you first-rate service? They can't. That's the reason why, if you've tried to work with agents, they can't do it. The Kristin Stampini hand-picks real estate sales team has over 7 professionals. Our team always has time for you, always. Our unique team approach means you get a highly qualified staff of individuals, each with their own specialized knowledge and areas of expertise. Best of all, you get Kristin's entire team of 7+ pros, all working for you for the price of one. Okay? I mean, we've got virtual teams. We've got so many people all helping you out. All VIP buyers get a written VIP buyer cancellation guarantee that allows you to stop, and you can pull this out, okay, if you want, and then put it back in if you need to, okay. Stop working with us if you feel we are not living up to the promises we make. All VIP buyers get a written VIP buyer satisfaction guarantee, so it's in there for the cancellation. All VIP buyers get a written VIP buyer satisfaction guarantee that ensures your complete satisfaction with your purchase. Okay? If within 18 months of your purchase you're not 100% satisfied, now obviously if it's with your home that you buy, and it's not going to be for relocations. I mean, there are a few, terms and conditions, of course, like there are with anything. But for the most part, if you're not happy with what we did and what we got you into, within the first 18 months, Kristin's either going to go ahead and sell it for you for free, okay? And she's going to give up her commission for you, or she's going to buy it back from you. Do you know any other agents that would offer that out there?
They have to buy a house
Beat
from
me
us.
over the head.
Yeah, but that's one of the terms and conditions.
Yeah.
One of the terms and conditions is the next house that they buy has to be from us.
Right.
They have
Okay.
to use us to buy it.
But that's pretty good. If they didn't like it,
Yeah.
I'm giving them the commission, or I'm going to sell it for free, right? Who else out there is offering something like that? So now you now get priority access to all hot new listings before other buyers, regular updates of homes that match your criteria, and you pick the homes you want to see, access to all the homes which you can see at your leisure and with no pressure. The best possible price and terms because you beat out other buyers and don't have to compete with us. What we're going to do here, your 7 VIP buyer benefits, one is you get pre-qualified, free of charge, for a home loan and get access to special financing. You receive the best new listings that match your criteria. Again, you guys just go through and pick which ones you want through here, that are backed up with special market knowledge. You have an entire team of pros and leading experts, technology and disposal at no extra cost. You get more home for your money. You don't waste time on homes above and below the price range. And you can beat other buyers to all new hot new listings. Now, what we recommend that you do, and I don't even know if it's in this one, is what we always say, as soon as you see something that comes on the market, if you can go buy it the minute it comes on the market, if you can just drive by it, okay, the day that it comes on, and then you say, wow, this is perfect, then let me know. And that's how we get so many people into the homes, because they drive by and they say, oh, Kristin, can you take me there? And then we get you in as fast as we can, okay? But what we see that works better is if you can, that you drive by that house first to make sure that is the right community or the right curb appeal or whatever you want. and then you tell us, and we'll get you in there hopefully within hours or within the day. Okay, depending on. So what we're trying to do, guys, is we're trying to get them to drive by the homes first. Okay. This just basically goes into, you get a written cancellation signed by us that allows you to cancel if you live it. Again, we're just kind of going over the benefits of the buyer. And then this is also going over the 18, because you know how you can keep the slides out or keep them in.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is our actual VIP buyer cancellation guarantee. Okay. So going through all of the, and this is what kind of where I wait. Okay. And I kind of leave it right here. Cancellation. How do you feel about everything?
Exciting.
Yeah. Good. So going over everything today with you, me as your realtor, what kind of expectations can I ask from you? If I provide all this to you, what can I get back from you? Usually by that time, when you go through this whole thing and you're interacting, usually they're going to tell you loyal. Usually they're going to say, you know what?
Work with you.
That I'm going to work with you. Because they're so impressed by the time you're done that nobody's ever done this with them. And I would have this on a screen. And sometimes we've done something like welcome and put it on there. Like welcome whoever the people are. Mm-hmm. Okay, and put it right on the screen so when they walk in they see it. I mean, do those special things. Because you can just, you know how to do that, right? And that's what I would do. Mm-hmm. All we're asking from you today, we're going to provide all these services for you. Okay, and we're going to have a whole team working for you. And as I said, that's all we do is work with buyers. All we ask is for your loyalty. What do you think? And they, hands down. How do you end on that one?
Same thing.
Yeah. So what do you do?
That's all. That's pretty much all I ask in return is you be loyal to me. I'm going to be loyal to you because you're now my client. And I'll ask that you be loyal to me that I am now your realtor, your one and only. That everything that you do comes through me because I'm here to protect you. So
protect you. I'm here to make sure in the best interest. I'm here representing you.
Right.
Okay. If they push back for any reason, which normally, I'm telling you, very rarely are you gonna ever say. If you do this all and you really show them value and show them what we do, that's why that first part is really the biggest value too. And then the 18-month buyback is a pretty cool value. But really, if they see that value, they're not going to push back. And if they are, you're not doing it right. You need to look at yourself and go, ooh, I just screwed that one up because you didn't do it. Okay? So you don't want to screw it up. So if they push back, then you want to kind of try to find out a little bit why. And you want to give them the cancellation. That time you want to say, listen, no obligation. How about you give me 7 days to show you what I can do as far as working with you and as far as how we work together. If you're not happy with my services in 7 days, then we just both part. Okay? If you are happy, then all I'm going to ask is that you please give me, 6 months obligation to work with you. Okay? If during that, even during that time, and if they're still like kind of hesitant, even during that time, that 6 months, if you're like, God, I just really don't like her, or if they say, oh, you know what, she's just not doing what I like, just give me one chance and let me know. Does that sound fair? And if I haven't corrected that, and then you still say, you know what, this just isn't for me, absolutely, it is cancellation guaranteed. That's when you bring that out. And usually then they feel like, ease. Because honestly, once they sign, if they ever if they want to cancel, they can anytime they want.
No.
There's no legality there.
No.
So really they can. So you just don't, and once they literally sign the paper, they, it kind of makes them feel loyal to you. And we're going to do, and that's why I would also have those fiduciary memorized between, what's the difference between a transaction broker and a single agent. And I would have all that, because that's another one I'd bring out like that. okay, and just go over, this is the difference. With you and working in as a single agent, these are the things that happen. If you're going to just go out there and work with multiple agents, this is what happens. Okay.
So we're done.
Mm-hmm.